Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to this ceremony where we will honor Kathryn Lashmit as our May 2014 Recognized Good Legend. We're here at the Westlake Hills Council Chambers to conduct this event, and we are looking forward to all the presentations that we have. Let me start by recognizing some of our VIPs that we have here today. Past legends George Wagner and Steve Brown. And Steve's parents, Sue and Robert Brown. Our speaker today is Ms. Kathy Grosh from Therapy Pet Pals, and she'll be providing some background on Kathryn. We also have the niece, Sherry Tibby, who's the Hays County District Attorney, and she'll be making the presentations that we have today. We also have Mr. Jim Lashmit, the other half of the organization, and of course our honoree, Kathy. Recognized Good is an internet capability where you can say thanks to your family, your friends, and your acquaintances. Say thanks to them on an internet scale. Back in 2007 and 2008, the Tyrex Group and ABC Home and Commercial Services were Ethics in Business Awards winners. They got together with the Samaritan Center and came up with the idea of putting a thank you capability on the web. In 2009, we launched what we call Recognize Good, where folks could actually say thanks on the web, and we noticed that some of the thank yous and some of the other information coming in was just way above the standard thank yous. And so we had the idea in 2010 to start what we call the Legends program. And so in 2010, we started with our very first ceremony, and we've been going strong ever since. Now, we will continue this because this is not a one-time event for Kathryn. As Steve can attest, as our Austin legend for 2013, we have some other events that are coming up. One is the the Say Thanks Austin campaign, which goes in January and February of 2015. And in that event, we get thank yous from around the world. And very simply, the first 2 years we did this, we averaged about 4,500. The third year we had 16,000. Last year we had 63,000. Wow. Thanks to some very creative marketing. And so what we will have is an event where whichever legend from 2014 receives the most thank yous, and Steve can attest to how that works, will receive an additional $10,000 in our Say Thanks Austin campaign. And Steve, if you would, take about 30 seconds and let us know what you did with the $10,000 that you won.
Okay. Well, obviously, as you can see up there, it wasn't just me, it was my wife and I. We run a youth baseball league for kids with disabilities. And so the $10,000 plus the $1,000 goes into our budget, and it covers about one season's worth of our expenses. And so we don't charge our players and our parents any fees to play with us. So it goes towards uniforms, field maintenance. We have buddies, our teenage buddies that are with each player, and we give a little scholarship each spring for the seniors. So the $10,000 plus the $1,000 goes a long way into helping us do what we do twice a year. So it's been fun getting to know George and Joel and all of the guys at Recognize Good. It's an amazing organization, and just real quickly, you could not be more deserving. And I'm very proud to be here with my parents, and I've heard about it for a long time. I get your newsletter all the time. So it's very well deserved. But and come around the fall when the final contest gets going, just get with me and Tracy, and we'll tell you how to get the word out. There's a trick to it.
Now, Steve has another connection. His mother, Sue, has been with Therapy Pet Pals for, you started when you were 10 years old, right?
Right, I did. 2 years.
How many?
22.
22 years.
Yes.
Very good. And we also have some other pet pals here. Ted and Dylan.
And Jilly.
Dilly. And
Sissy.
and Sissy, right over here.
There's a little sissy girl.
But enough about what I have to say about Recognize Good. We need to get to the real key aspect of the ceremony. And for this, I invite this Kathy Gross to come forward and tell us a little bit about Kathy.
Well, I was just honored to be able to nominate Kathryn, and I get a little weepy, so hopefully we'll get through this without too many tears. It's just a real honor to stand here and tell you about my dear friend Kathryn. And Kathryn is a dear friend, but she also has several other titles. She's wife, she's mother, she's grandmother, she's aunt, she's sister, and she embraces all of those with this joy in her heart. However, there are a few titles that she's not all that comfortable with. Founder, CEO, boss. They've never been anything that she really relished because as long as I've known her, she has always said, Pep House is God's organization, and she's just doing His work. So, as many times as I've heard that, I've envisioned God waking up one day and saying, I think I'll create Pep House. Who do I need for this? I need someone who has a heart for the elderly, who loves dogs, and who has the skills to run a volunteer organization. And he looked out, and he saw several people who were qualified for that. But then he said, by the way, this person's going to need to dedicate their lives to this. And then when he looked out, the only person remaining standing was our Kathryn, because no one could do it like she does it. I met Kathryn in 1990. I called to make a reservation for my poodle and I to go through the class. And a few weeks later, we did go through the class, and I walked in, and she knew my name. She knew my dog's name. Not this one. We had a standard at the time. And I thought, well, she remembered my name. That's crazy. And a few weeks later, ran into her again. She knew my name. She knew the dog's name. She knew my trainer's name. She knew Ron's name. I thought, I'm impressed with this woman. That's feeling pretty darn special. So a year or so later, when we had our very first office on Brazos, I went down to volunteer there. And I found out I wasn't her only special friend. Kathryn knew everybody's name. She knew each dog. She knew the month and the year they came through the class. She knew who their trainer was, where they visited, and she knew each of their phone numbers. I was blown away, just blown away. I've known her for 23 years. I still don't know her phone number. If it wasn't for my phone or the button on it, I couldn't do it. But not Kathryn. God blessed her with this amazing memory. And it has just been such a wonderful thing for all of our volunteers to feel so special. And not only did he bless her with his remarkable memory, but he also gave her the amazing ability to make everyone feel welcome, comfortable, accepted, and valued. She has a special gift for loving each person as her special friend. And whether it's the residents she visits, or our volunteers, or our supporters, or our donors, or personnel from healthcare facilities, or veterinarians, they all feel like they are her special friend. It is a gift. During her 30 years of pet palling, she has been blessed with little pet pals. The first one was Chai, and Chai was the one that sort of was the spark for pet pals. But then along came Hope and Joy and Sissy, who's with us today. And she had one other, and they were all Pekingese. She's the Pekingese. She had one other Pekingese, Dolly, and Dolly was a therapy dog for Kathryn and Jimmy, but she didn't qualify for pet pals, which was heartbreaking to her, but in the long run was a really wonderful thing. Because it's so hard to tell someone who wants to be a pet pal that your dog just is not a therapy dog for other people. It just doesn't have what it takes. But Kathryn could speak from personal experience And the compassion that she has with those people in any kind of situation just comes out and makes everyone feel like, yes, even though she's saying, I can't do this, she is my special friend. Just okay. All right. During the early years of 1984 to 1991, Kathryn pretty much single-handedly ran Pet Pals out of the corner of her bedroom. During that time, she volunteered over 12,000 hours, span of about 7 years. She drove 28,700 miles, and she and her little Pekingese pups are responsible for placing nearly 14,000 smiles on the faces of the people they visited. Today, Pet Pals has over 225 certified volunteers serving in 90 nursing homes, healthcare facilities, assisted living, hospitals in the intensive care ward hospitals, and MHMR facilities. Over the past 30 years, Pet Pals has served 257,350 hours visiting in healthcare facilities and volunteering their time to further our organization. Our Pet Pals have also driven 1,952,800 miles at their own expense, and they have brought 2,029,649 smiles to the faces of thousands of elderly and ill members of our community. And of those hours they donated, the 257,350 total hours that all the Pet Pals have donated over the 30 years, Kathryn herself has personally volunteered 42,170 hours. It took us a long time to figure out those numbers, but they are impressive numbers, so I wanted to tell you. Pet Pals is truly blessed to be celebrating our 30th year. A lot of nonprofits don't make it 30 years. And because of this lady, we have made it 30 years. And we are also just thrilled that she has been selected as a 2004 May honoree for Recognized Good Legends program. And we're thrilled because we know that Kathryn certainly is a good person to recognize. But speaking for myself and the thousands of Pet Pals, both past and present, we think you've actually recognized the best.
If you happen to be able to look at the website and see pictures of the pets with the elderly patients, it's very, very, very heartwarming to see that happen. For our next segment, I'd like to invite Sherry Tebby to come forward. We have some presentations that we want to make. And the first is going to be the soup mug to Kathy for being nominated. Right over here.
Under this camera. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you.
I didn't review my program very well, obviously.
That's okay. You can have it all you want.
Okay.
Jim, if you'd bring Kathryn up here, we'd appreciate that. That's not just right over here. And the first is the gift card.
Thank you, dear.
And next we have the Book of Good Deeds, which has a nomination and some other information about Kathryn.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you all so much. Goodness. And there's also a gift card in here too, in the back. Oh, is it Christmas?
And then it's Plant to Living, remember?
Oh, thank you all so much. Thank you, Recognize Good and George. And thank you. It really does feel like Christmas.
Yeah, you can get that to Kathy and she can hang on to it.
You can give that to Linda, she'll take it.
This is the best part. Not really, but hey.
Oh. Are we through?
You can sign the check, Kathryn.
I know it, I'm getting it to Pep Pals, my favorite nonprofit.
Okay, then.
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to get it closer there.
Okay.
One more.
Okay, then.
I gotta put it on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I take
And there's the real check.
Oh, thank you so much. I will say, so if I get emotional, I am deeply, deeply honored to be recognized by this wonderful organization. And even more so, I'm extremely humbled when I think of all the people that have been honored in the past by this amazing organization. In fact, it almost seems sinful to be honored for something that you love with all your heart, with something that gives you a reason for being. But that's okay to be simple then, isn't it? Because I am so grateful. And many of the people here, whoops, cut me off. Many of the gals here will attest to the fact that I'm not often speechless. But today I'm kind of getting that way because I am overwhelmed and my oxygen just went off. Thank you all so much, so much.
Anything else? Any closing comments?
Not unless Sherry.
Sherry, anything?
Well, I can just say a few words about my aunt quickly because I probably will have a hard time getting through it. He says I'm the Hayes County DA, but today my claim to fame is that I'm her niece. And that's pretty much my claim to fame every day. I've pretty much spent my whole life loving and admiring my aunt and my uncle. As a matter of fact, my sisters and I, we don't even say Aunt Kathy or Uncle Jimmy, it's aunt and uncle, sort of like mom and dad. And that's what they are to me, they're like my second parents. When I was around five, I told my aunt I was moving to Texas to live with her. And when I was 21, I finally got here, and it was the same year that she started Therapy Pep Pals with Little Chai Chai. And it was a joy for me to watch her and just see what she did with the organization over the years. That for the first 10 years, her and my uncle, they ran Pep Pals. They wrote the checks. They did everything for free. They never asked for any money in return, just going to the nursing homes and giving love. And it was based on their interactions with their parents. And my aunt and my uncle seeing my grandparents in their last days and what kind of joy they would get out of stuff like that. And it was just it's amazing to me to see how far this organization has come. From them spending their own money, and now they have paid staff, office space, countless volunteers, and they're spreading their pets' love all over Central Texas and in the Houston area, all because of what she started 30 years ago. It's been my pleasure and privilege to watch Therapy Pep Pals grow, and my aunt has a lot of things to be proud of. For me, the most important thing is a loving family that she helped raise her 5 stepchildren and me and my sisters. And the pride of establishing and keeping Therapy Pep Pals the vital organization it's become. I love her very much, and I'm so proud of her.
And I love you
Well, this has certainly been a wonderful time for the greater Austin area and Central Texas because you have made this a better place to live and to work. So thank you for what you've done. Kathy, thank you for the nomination. Sherry, thank you for your time this morning to talk about all the good things she's done and be our presenter. This concludes our ceremony. Feel free to come up and take a look at the gifts, and we'll have a group photo here, so if we can get the Therapy Pet Pals folks to come up with the pets, we'll do that and take a few pictures. And then we want to get a few moments of your time afterwards. Okay?